Morning, everybody. How are y'all doing today? I am exhausted, not because I was out doing difficult things or anything, but because I've been in my room trying to play the BO7 beta, and it is more exhausting than running a 5K. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but mentally, playing BO7 is exhausting. Normally, you guys know I wouldn't make a video like this. I don't usually do impressions of games as videos or anything. I'll usually give my impressions in a different video where I'm talking about people who like it or don't like it for a reason that I disagree with. But this beta is so unbelievably bad that I feel obligated to make this video. So what we're gonna do is I am recording this after the zombies has dropped for the beta. So first we'll start with the multiplayer. I'll give my pros and cons of it, and then we'll do zombies pros and cons. But before we do that, let's actually go ahead and just boot up the game. You know, we have to boot up the game to give the first impressions. Alright, so we're just booting up the game here. Let's go ahead and play the BO7 beta. It should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, maybe. Not really, but whatever. Alright, so we're loading in right now. Cool, yep, checking for updates and whatnot. Alright. Cool, yep, message of the day, don't care. BO7 early beta, let's go ahead and play it. What do you mean, launching BO7 beta? What do you mean by that? Oh, no. God damn it, is it? Okay. And here we go. It's making me launch a whole separate thing just to play the beta. Alright, so I guess we're launching into this one. Let's wait. And we're gonna keep waiting. Still waiting. I'm on an SSD, by the way. Still waiting. I just want to play the beta, man. Is that too much to ask? Launching still. Wow, it actually changed. Okay, and we're finally in. Good God almighty. By the way, I was keeping track. I was on that loading screen in the BO7 beta waiting for it to put me in for a whole 40 seconds. That's after I have to launch Black Ops 6 and then restart the game to launch Black Ops 7. Why? It's been the same thing with every Call of Duty beta ever since they introduced this god-awful COD HQ. Why do I have to restart the game? Why can I not just load up the game, and why can't the beta just be a part of the HQ? Oh, and by the way, it didn't show there because I had to re-record that segment, but the first time I booted that up, it said update requires restart. Can somebody genuinely explain why it is that update requires restart? I still don't understand after 6 years of this, but regardless, I think that should kind of give you the idea of where my thoughts with the multiplayer are heading. I'm not a big fan, but let me elaborate. The gameplay itself, the core gameplay, the movement, the way the guns shoot and feel, along with the wall jumping, all feel very good. This has basically never been an issue with Call of Duty. The core gameplay has always felt great. However, it is everything around that core gameplay that is the problem. Let's start with the first and most obvious thing, skill-based matchmaking. It is cranked up to 11. Every game I play, it feels like the enemy teams are fighting to keep their family alive. Like, if they lose a match of BO7, their families are going to be executed via firing squad. This is, without a doubt, the sweatiest beta I have ever played. And just to make things even worse, the time to kill is so fast. Like, way too fast. You have no chance to react to getting shot. If you get shot from behind, you're basically just dead. You won't have time to turn around and shoot back at the person, which is made an even bigger issue by the fact that, I swear to God, I have never received so many back shots in a Call of Duty game in my life. I wasn't actually keeping complete track, but it really does feel like most of my deaths happened because I was taking lethal back shots. doors. That is to say, I'm always dying to people behind me, not in front of me. Okay, maybe not always, but it feels like I'm dying to people behind me way more than in any other COD game. And the thing is, I actually don't hate the maps. I think the maps are pretty good. I think they're better than the BO6 maps, but the extremely fast TTK does not work well with them, and it definitely needs to be slowed down, which I think they said they're going to, which, good. I'm getting Modern Warfare flashbacks where it feels like I'm dying in 1 or 2 shots when I'm not playing hardcore. See, the thing about this beta is I was not able to play multiplayer beyond, like, a couple hours. Like, just mentally, I couldn't do it. I put 40 hours into the Black Ops 6 beta last year, and after a couple hours of this beta, I literally felt mentally drained. But wait, we're not done yet. It actually gets worse. Remember how they were bragging about how they had removed the manual doors that were in Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare and all the other games previously? They somehow managed to make them worse, because now instead of manual doors, they have automatic doors, which remain closed until you get close to them, and then they open, and then shut automatically behind you, which leads to extremely awkward gunfights, where you have people laying down in front of doors camping them, and even if nobody's there, you just have to blindly run through and hope that you don't get jump scared by somebody on the other side. Now, granted, they did say they're gonna make it so that you can shoot doors to open them, which is fine, but they just shouldn't be there at all. They kill the flow of combat so much. Just make the doors empty doorways that are always open. We don't need doors in games. I don't know what it is with the COD devs and wanting to force doors into games. Just get rid of them. Just have each doorway be empty and open. Funnily enough, I would actually argue that Call of Duty Vanguard, yeah, remember that game? I would argue that game had the best door system because you could just destroy the doors and get rid of them completely. When COD Vanguard is catching W's over you, that's when you know you've messed up. Thank God Zombies is in this beta, because I think I literally just would have dropped it if it wasn't for Zombies. Although I do believe at the time that I'm recording this, they did just release a new mode which allegedly doesn't have skill-based matchmaking as like an experimental thing, so it does seem like Battlefield 6 has them shaking in their boots. So I don't know, I guess I'll go give that a try later. But honestly, even if skill-based matchmaking is removed, there's just so many other issues that need to be addressed that I just mentioned. Oh, also, I didn't even write it down on my list that I have here, but I'll just throw it out there. The cluster grenades are so unbelievably annoying. Not because I keep dying to them, but because they leave a bajillion particles all over the screen. It looks like somebody's constantly throwing sand in front of you. And oh, by the way, I have to mention this. I can't prove this definitively, but I am fairly certain that this game is causing my internet to crash. Consistently, when I have been playing the Black Ops 7 multiplayer, I will lag out of the game, and then also I'll lag out of the Discord call I'm in. Now, you would think that's my internet, but this has only happened when I've played BO7. Also, I'm just saying, I'm on my school's internet. It's really good, and I've never had an issue with it just cutting out randomly. I'm not like an internet wizard, so I don't know exactly if it's even possible for playing a game to crash your internet on your computer, at least temporarily. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this game is actually making my internet crash. Which also, I was going to mention this earlier during the skill-based matchmaking section, but I decided to save it for now. People have been consistently leaving my games, like every single time without fail. I will either join a game in progress, or people will leave very soon into a game starting. And I cannot tell if they're leaving because skill-based matchmaking is screwing them over, or if it's because they're facing the same issues that I am and the game is just breaking their internet. Either way, it's not a good look, because if people are leaving because of the skill-based matchmaking, then that kind of feels like it goes against the whole idea of player retention that they're supposed to be going for. Like, that's the reason they keep using skill-based matchmaking, is because apparently the player retention is good. But if everybody's leaving because of skill-based matchmaking, I don't really see how you're retaining your players. I don't know, man. I really hope that this new mode they just added is actually gonna fix the matchmaking. Again, even if it does, there's still a bunch of other issues, but that is a massive step in the right direction if they stick with that. But I'm not holding my breath. Minecraft. Anyway, now let's go ahead and talk about the zombies, which is the main reason I'm buying the game. I'm looking forward to doing the camo grind, and I've just always enjoyed zombies, except for, like, Vanguard, obviously. But besides that, I love zombies, I love camo grinding, so I was on there right when it dropped. And my feelings towards zombies are a lot more positive with this beta. First of all, I think they finally have a great aesthetic nailed down. One of the biggest criticisms of Black Ops 6 Zombies, which I agreed with despite how much I enjoyed BO6 Zombies, was the fact that the maps didn't really feel too much like zombies maps. There was just something wrong with the environments, especially like Liberty Falls. Like, just a simple sky color change would have made such a difference. The maps were good, but just something about the aesthetic was off, and I think they finally nailed it down in BO7. The beta zombies map, which is the farm survival map, looks amazing, and it actually feels like what a zombies map should feel like. On top of that, the new perk is actually really cool. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be good to have on when you're camo grinding because it automatically kills zombies for you, but I love the fact that you can have it on and it will not kill the last zombie of the round. Stuff like that shows me they're actually at least somewhat thinking about the player experience. And then another positive, but also negative that I wrote down, I'm not even kidding, I have this list here, and in zombies positives and negatives, I wrote the same thing. Feels the same as BO6. Kind of a positive because BO6 felt great, it was a lot of fun, but also a negative because this just feels like it could have been a post-launch update for BO6. Especially considering BO6 didn't have a single new perk in it. Like, there were perks added post-launch, but they were all previously seen in other zombies games. And now BO7 is launching with a new perk. That feels kind of weird. Also, they're keeping the same augment system as BO6 had, which I didn't hate, but I also wasn't a huge fan of. I don't know, the augments are a bit more boring. I feel like Cold War did the progression much better, where you earn crystals by surviving to higher rounds and exfilling, and then you buy upgrades with those crystals. Although, speaking of exfilling, I will say I like the new exfil system, at least on this map specifically, where you've got a little phone booth, you answer a phone call, and then you have to kill a bear to charge it up, and then you can leave through there. I think it's neat. It's a nice little change. And I'm very excited to see how classic mode pans out, because it seems like they're adding, like, Halo Skull style things that you can pick up to use as difficulty modifiers and whatnot, so it seems like it's going to be very replayable. But honestly, I feel like they should have included that with this beta, because the whole point of a beta is to give people a good first impression of your game. And if one of your big selling points is the classic mode that brings it back to OG zombies, then why wouldn't you have that here? You just gave us Black Ops 6.5 zombies instead. You want to know what you really could have done to immediately make this game stand out a bit more? And I think you would get a lot of support from people for doing it. Get rid of the weapon rarity system, not just in the classic mode, but get rid of it in general. It's just annoying. It makes Pack-a-Punch feel less valuable. Just make Pack more powerful and get rid of the whole thing where you gotta upgrade your weapon to green and then blue and then purple and then orange. As much as I enjoy modern zombies, I've always had the criticism since Cold War that the weapon rarity thing is just kind of dumb. I think it works for wall buy weapons, but not as like, oh, green gives you more damage, as in green means it has this many attachments on it. Also, this isn't really a bad thing necessarily, but it's something I've noticed. Quick Revive feels extremely powerful in BO7. Like, as long as you go like a second without getting hit, your health starts regenerating. In BO6 with Quick Revive, it took like 3 seconds, but your health starts coming back almost immediately in this game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I noticed. So yeah, Zombies is looking pretty good and is honestly probably going to carry the game. I really don't know if I trust that new matchmaking update, man. Like, let's just say they get rid of skill-based matchmaking for the whole game. It's not just that one mode. Even if they get rid of it for launch, I bet they're going to put it back in later. Like, I can't trust these people with the multiplayer anymore. And honestly, based on the Steam charts, it really doesn't feel like anybody trusts them anymore. I mean, look at that. You would expect for the beta of a game, even for the pre-order beta, you would expect a massive jump in players. The game barely even hit 75K. And don't forget, that includes Warzone and Black Ops 6. I think a lot of people are just tapping out of Call of Duty this year, and I can't blame them. And even if they don't tap out, they're probably just gonna play it on Game Pass. That is, assuming they didn't cancel cancel their Game Pass because of the recent price hike. Good lord, this has not been a good month for Xbox. We are on day 4 of October, and this month has already been a complete disaster for them. But yeah, anyway, guys, with all that being said, those are my thoughts on the Black Ops 7 beta so far. And let me know if you guys are excited for Black Ops 7 at all, or if all your excitement is geared towards Battlefield 6 right now. Personally, I think Battlefield will be my multiplayer game for this year, and then COD can just be the campaign/zombies. But yeah, I'm probably just not gonna touch the BO7 multiplayer with a 10-foot pole when the game comes out. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Join us every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on the gaming channel for gaming streams, and I will catch you all next time.